Greetings, Japan fans. In today's show, we're going to talk about being liked and trusted in sales. Eigo desu. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. This is the fourth year of the Sales Japan Series podcast, and we are broadcasting around the world from the Beverly Hills of Japan, Minato-ku. It is Chic Central. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guide committed to your success, the president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, the best-selling author, Japan Sales Mastery and Japan Business Mastery, and my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery, will be released shortly. In this podcast, I want to help you to survive COVID-19. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn, who, unlike many other podcast hosts, have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesdays, the Presentation Japan Series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan Series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan Series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 232, and we are talking about we buy from people we like and trust. So let's go! Buying from people we like and trust makes a lot of sense. Sometimes we have no choice and we'll hold our nose and buy from people we don't like. Buying anything from people we don't trust is truly desperate. So when we flip the switch and we become the seller to the buyer, how can we pass the smell and desperation tests? How do you establish trust and likability when you are on a virtual call with a new potential client? What do you do about those new buyers who won't even turn on their camera during the call? The best defense against buyer skepticism is to be professional. You will be well presented, whether face-to-face or online. In the latter case, you'll have a background that advertises your firm and hides the background of your home because this reduces the distraction factor. You will use gestures which are in front of your body so that your arms are not suddenly cut off by the fake background. You'll be sitting up straight in your chair and looking straight at the lens of the computer camera, which you have cleverly arranged to be at eye level. In a face-to-face meeting, we are communicating quite a lot through our body language, so we're going to be sending out messages of confidence, credibility, and trustworthiness. We're going to be well-dressed for all meetings, regardless of the medium. That means putting on your business battle dress, which means a jacket and tie for men in the online meetings as well, so that we are not looking too casual. We're going to be precise and clear in our language with no filler words like ums and ahs, diluting the message and annoying the buyer. Online, the body language factor can be tricky, especially if we are showing any documents or slides on screen. In these cases, we're reduced to a tiny box on screen, and so is the client. The lesson here is to not show too much information on screen, such that the size of the faces is maximized so that we can each read as much body language information as possible. What about those Japanese clients who only turn on the sound? We are now at the equivalent of a phone call, except that they can see you and you cannot see them. We have a couple of choices. I don't match them by turning my camera off to even out the stakes. I still want to exude credibility, and the camera gives me more scope to do that than the audio only. Find out more when we come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public programs, but we also do custom-made in-house classes. Now, we do them in our super safe classroom, we do them live online, and we do them in Japanese, and we do them in English. Now, today's show is being sponsored on May the 12th by our Cross and Upselling program. In our professional leadership series, on the 14th of May, we have Leading and Managing. On the 18th of May, we have Time Management, and also in that professional leadership series on the 21st of May, we're doing Developing Subordinates, and on the 28th, we're doing Communicating with Different Personality Styles. You can find out more about those programs on our website at enjapan.dalecarnegie.com, and you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Get my best-selling books, Japan Sales Mastery, the Bible for selling in Japan, and Japan Business Mastery, and my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery. If you like learning by watching videos, we have over 1,000 for you there on Japan Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, comes out Mondays. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders in Japan from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Now, every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. And don't forget, you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. We have to grab the opportunity of the sales call, and we, not the buyer, have to run the meeting. Right from the start, I asked them to turn their camera on. This is difficult for our Japanese staff to do because for them, the buyer is God. If the omnipresent deity doesn't want to reveal themselves to mere mortals, then what right has the lowly supplicant salesperson to demand that of God? Nevertheless, we have to train them on how to do that. We need to say to the buyer, "Thank you for your time today for this meeting. I appreciate it, given I'm sure you are very busy. Over the last year, I've done a lot of these meetings online, and they always seem to be more productive for both sides when we both turn the cameras on. So let's both turn our cameras on today for this brief meeting." Now, what comes next is the key component. Shut up and do not say one word, no matter how much awkward, painful silence ensues. Sit there and wait for them. Isn't this risky? In my view, if they won't even come on camera, how successful do you imagine you're going to be selling them something? By definition, they are not a buyer, and you're better to go find someone who can turn their camera on and can buy. What happens if they say they prefer not to turn their camera on? Mentally, reduce the prospects of a subsequent positive outcome to a substantial negative integer, and carry on as best you can. A non-buyer is a non-buyer, online or in person, but in sales, you often have to grit your teeth and just plow on. All very depressing, isn't it? To just end on a real downer, let me relate a recent story from the sales trenches here in Tokyo. My sales guy cold calls a company here. The person answering the phone says, We do not deal with people we are not already dealing with. Being the supreme optimist from sunny Australia, I encourage him to go once more into the breach and call again at a different time. Potentially, he might encounter a different person and hopefully receive a better reception. He did just that, and he got exactly the same response from another member of staff. We do not deal with people we're not already dealing with. As we say here, welcome to Japan. Thank you for joining the Sales Japan series. If you found the program useful, please work on your karma and share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you've learned today. Use it and go out there and survive. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.